Now here's a picture after combat on my turn 2. As you can see, Boron and the Chariot have killed 2 of the treekin. Not really the stellar showing that I was looking for. Boron managed to weather okay without, I think he won by 1. He had the charge. He Venom Surged 1, I remember for sure. All 3 wounds, Venom Surged him right out of his wooden britches. And the Chariot, of course, died, as he's not here anymore. And anyway, they passed their relatively high leadership, 7 or so, to stay, then to reform as well. And Boron is looking not too pleased about this prospect. In the side of this picture, you can see my squigs have reformed. They killed everyone except for the BSB, who failed his leadership 6 test twice and disappeared because he was the BSB. And I don't have a picture of it, but the 3 chariots destroyed a ruck of dryads, just really mowed them down. It was apparently, I have lawnmowers attached to those things. I should model those. Just cut them down, threw them in the wood chipper, and they broke, and I ran them down. Okay, so here's Wood Elf turn 3. He's really trying to pull a comeback out. He charges my Goblin Chariot, my undamaged Goblin Chariot in the flank. That heart there belongs to the Goblin Chariot up front, which has taken 2 wounds, so it's down on its last heart. And I was really kind of scared about this. I overran with all 3 when the Dryads broke, or not overran, but I pursued with all 3 when the Dryads broke, because I have a rough time rolling high on pursuit rolls. So I wanted, even with the Swift Stride, so I wanted to go ahead and, make sure that I got those Dryads, that they didn't come back and, maybe sneak a charge off on my Chariots and start winning some points back. So here they are, but they ended up in this line, and he really could probably take out most of the Chariots if he was lucky. If he ran down or destroys that Goblin Chariot that he's fighting, he could most likely panic the Leadership 6 Chariot in front, and that would run and get into, with his overrun or his pursue, into the Boar Chariot in the flank, and that's probably a fight that he's going to do really well in as well. So not really something that I'm excited about seeing. Something I am excited about seeing, however, is that later in the movement phase, the archers fail to rally. They have a leadership 9 to rally with their musician, and womp womp, they keep running. In shooting, he kills 5 more savages, so I'm at like 21 now, and super pissed that my savages haven't even got to fight anything yet. The whole center just kind of collapsed, and that was bad placement by me and good placement by my opponent. But man, I'm not excited about this. The eagle causes 1 wound in combat, and surprise, surprise, my goblins hold on a 5, which really changes that. They don't get a they do get a chance to try and reform, but A, they fail, and B, we're pretty sure that the Boar Chariot is too close to allow that Goblin Chariot to swing that way. And the Arachnarok Venom Surges another of the treekin, and he kills one outright, and he does another wound to 1, and the goblins cause 2 more wounds, and the Arachnarok takes 2 wounds, 1 wound, something like that, and of course they break, but he fails to catch them. Like I said, sometimes Swift Stride is not my friend. Not much happens in turn 3. The Arachnarok charges, catches the treekin, and then reforms. The statue of the Energizer Bunny kills some squigs and some handlers. My shooting misses. My rock lobber misfires. The eagle breaks the Goblin Chariot, but the other chariot at the very bottom of this picture doesn't panic, and the Boar Chariot doesn't care because they're goblins. And in turn 4, his scouts charge my Spear Chucker, and they lose 1 to Dangerous Terrain. They don't really care. He rallies the Flaming Banner group. Finally, he, as you can see in this picture where his blue group is of archers, is open to some chariots. He uses the eagle to try and block some of that. I really thought he was actually going to try and use the eagle to redirect the savages, but instead he chose to try and block some chariots, which either way was going to be bad. But I don't know. I thought he had a better chance of getting the savages with their huge frontage as opposed to the chariots, which are relatively easy to maneuver on the charge. So on my turn 4, I charge the blue group with everything I've got. I hit it with the goblin chariot and the boar chariot that the eagle was able to get in the way of. That didn't really matter. The savages, and I tried to long bomb charge it with Boron, but he was out, and that's okay. He didn't have much else to charge. Of course, in Magic, I try to cast Here We Go just because I have it. It's something I want to try. And I cast it with Irresistible Force, and I wound my wizard. Yay. In shooting, nothing really happens. In combat, the boar chariot predictably wipes out the eagle, overruns into the main combat for joy, and the archers are all sorts of wiped out from that combat. Everybody turns around and reforms, and I guess I forgot to mention in one of the earlier pictures, the Glade Riders, the two remaining, had charged my Rock Lava, and it beats that in combat, which is kind of annoying. It's kind of annoying, but all things considered, I am pretty sure I've got this game in the bag. He's got a unit of archers, two severely depleted units in my backfield, which really probably my War Machine crews can take out, and that's it. So, I mean, I'm confident that this game is in the bag. He's going to have to do some massive, massive shenanigans to get out of this. And here's the final picture of the game. In turn 5, he takes some more of my War Machines out with the scouts, scoots his Glade Rider around, shoots a Savage Orc, destroys, the War Machine that he's fighting with. But in my turn 5, that Boar Chariot and the Arachnarok get into Scaredy Cat red group there, and the Flaming Banner doesn't really matter because Boron is immune to psychology. The Chariot, I think, might fail, but come on, it's got impact hits. That's all it's really there for anyway, and that's what it looks like after combat. We just wipe it out, and that's pretty much the game. Now, things that I learned from this game were, first and foremost, do not put your characters outside of units. I had 2 Goblin Shaman, one had Itchy Nuisance, one had Vindictive Glare, and I'll be honest, those are good spells to have against elves, and I had Vindictive Glare, I think, or Itchy Nuisance for 1 turn, but anyway, the Lookout Sir, the 4+ Lookout Sir, did not help me at all. I really just need to put them in something that gives them, ablative wounds. And some other things that I learned were that Treekin are pretty tough, and I should choose my matchups better. Don't put Night Goblins in a building and give free attacks to the Dryad. And if you do, be man enough to throw your 34-point Night Goblin big bosses with great axes at the Dryads. Man it up, do what you got to do to win. Ultimately, luck played the biggest factor, I think, in this. I had some bad luck with my War Machines, but I had that one golden turn where I could snipe his characters. The War Machines plus the Foot of Gork were really what won the game for me. I mean, Savages putzing around and bad decisions with matchups and leaving the Night Goblins out of leadership range aside, really the Night Goblins holding, and then the Goblin Chariot holding, and then the other Goblin Chariot passing Panic, so that I had all of these chariots, all of their points left. I really, I had 185 points wipe out probably 400 points of Dryads just because of impact hits and stuff. Just all sorts of good rolling on my part, bad rolling on my opponent's part, and yeah, so that was our game. Let us know if you like it or don't like it, or what we need to change in the comment section below. And yeah, hope you enjoyed. And here's the final picture of the game. In turn 5,